Hello everyone. It's 12:49 p.m. in the afternoon. So they had certain events that happened yesterday that that I didn't get to tell y'all about because I got distracted. They had disrupted by the fake crusty perp train. It wasn't windy, but as soon as I start the video, it's crazy windy now. So there's one thing that I have to straight jump into before it slips my mind. So this morning, I gotta just straight jump into it before it slips my mind. Because when I'm talking about dream manipulation, sometimes after I have a bad dream, and then I go use the bathroom, and then I end up forgetting all about it. But I'm surprised I remember, not fluently, but I remember the events and details that happened in the bad dream. So, I fell asleep at 9:30 this morning, and then I woke up I think at 11:30 and snoozed a little bit more, and then woke up at noon. And earlier this morning, on YouTube, I was having a conversation with someone in the TI community, and the fake Stefan Adams perp, must have been stalking and following her in order to see what she posted. So she was trying to post, she was defending me and posting, things that the perps had said about me, and he made a fake comment talking about good job exposing Candy. And then then he went back and forth and was back and forth for a little bit, a couple of back and forth conversation. And when she was questioning him, about why he does what he does with the stalking and harassment, and then when she told him off and said that that they're wrong for participating in, that they're wrong for participating in what they do to us targets, he stopped responding. He got really quiet. He didn't say anything. He didn't type or say anything else after she said, "You people, y'all are wrong. And you know what you're doing," basically, But if I tell the stalkers the same thing, they will continue to harass, as if they don't take me seriously. But another person in the TI community tell them the same thing, and they cowardly back off. And there was another supporter in the TI community, that was doing some that's my sleep deprivation. That was another person in the TI community that Stefan Adams was, trying to comment or do some harassment, and when the person questioned him about something, he went AWOL, or he got really quiet. So Stefan Adams is too old to be, both a bully and a coward at the same time. He's been stalking. As I said, if you try to ignore them and don't say anything, they're still stalking and harassing, especially online. The cult is still stalking and harassing. They're still saying stuff. They're still doing stuff, and people feel like they have nothing to lose with picking with me and harassing me endlessly. But I'm pretty sure the fake Stefan Adams perp gonna come back another time and harass me or whatever. But, you know, he had to have been stalking and watching her, and he's known for being the type of perp that if they find out that I'm talking to a certain person, you know, they will latch on and try to subscribe to and stalk that and fake monitor that person who's talking to me, you know, and try to harass them too. But anyway, I was trying to say there was a guy in the TI community that exposed Stefan Adams harassing. The guy in the TI community wasn't harassing. I'm sorry. That's my sleep deprivation talking. I had just woke up. So, but, yeah, so Stefan Adams is part of the sex traffic. I don't care. I'm going to tell the truth. And he keeps denying it and lying. He's part of the fake red triangle sex trafficking cult too. Like, he's been part of the sex trafficking gang, online YouTube gang stalking cult since long before I even just heard, you know, about this whatever fake red triangle cult. Like, as I said, I don't think I heard of this fake red triangle cult. The earliest I probably remember was maybe February of this year, because I think I remember it's been months since, I mean, I'm not against going there, but it's just been months since I've been to the Gretna library, you know, and that's one of the library locations where I was wrongfully arrested and thrown in jail, being illegally swatted. And so I was at the Gretna library, and see, I lost my train of thought. Sorry that it's so windy outside. But, I forgot what I was going to say about, I was illegally swatted at the Gretna library, but I was going to say something else that happened at the Gretna library. I don't remember. Well, I hope the thought comes back. But, anyway. So, yeah, I don't remember what I was trying to say. See what I mean with thoughts slipping my mind? That's, you know, but anyway, so with this dream, this gang stalking dream manipulation nightmare, well, even though it's during the day, but the nightmare was, that the lady that in the TI community that I was talking to on YouTube, it's like I was either doing a video or a live stream or something, and there were a bunch of comments in the dream. And in the dream, the fake Stefan Adams perp had, you know, meddled in. And then the lady in the TI community was defending me in the dream. And so it's like the situation of our YouTube conversation with fake Stefan Adams perp trying to be messy and meddle in and whatever, like, it carried on into my dream when I was sleeping. And in the dream, you know, me and the lady were like having an argument with the fake Stefan Adams perp online in the dream. And in the dream, it's like as if he climbed out of my phone screen with that fake dumb character, because he admitted that that character is not real, and he admitted that Stefan Adams is a fake name too. And that's the one that claimed that he earns $180,000 a year, admitting that he stalks and harasses people, talking about that he's a junior handler for $180,000 a year. And then he said he wants to work his way up to senior handler for $360,000 a year. So in the dream, he climbed out of my phone with that fake character Because I don't know what he really looks like in real life or what his real identity is, Why you gotta hide behind a fake identity if what you're doing is right, of what you think you're doing is right? It ain't about protecting his. How are you protecting your privacy while you're going around violating the privacy of innocent people who don't know you? That's why I speculate if Stefan Adams, if you're stalking another man, what are you stalking another man and commenting on his sexual life for if you claim you ain't gay? What are you stalking and harassing Brian too for? And been doing it for like 4 or 5 years before you started stalking and harassing me. So, but so in the dream, the fake Stefan Adams perp climbed out of my phone, and me and him and the other lady in the TI community, we had an argument. And then next thing you know, she was defending me in the dream. And then next thing you know, she told me, Candy, there's another fellow TI that's being swatted by the police, and she's been falsely accused of. It was a black female in the TI community too. Another black female in the TI community that in real life, this person in the TI community that got illegally swatted and I was, illegally swatted and falsely accused of having a mental health emergency or whatever. But in the dream, this dream traumatized me. I hate that it's so windy. And look, 2 red cars in the road. Wait, what? You see right behind me. And so, it was windy. I'm just saying it's windy right now. I'm sorry. But in a dream, the lady in the TI community had told me, Candy, there's another TI that me and you have to go and rescue her because someone illegally swatted her and falsely accused her of having a mental health breakdown. And by the time me and the lady in the TI community came on scene to try to rescue the other black female, it was the cops that already had her in handcuffs and rough-handled her, and she was crying and hysterical. And by the time we got there, they slammed her to the ground. And she was murdered by the police because they slammed her to the ground. And then we ended up being devastated and horrified, and had to go back online and tell the TI community the news about the TI that got murdered by police from being illegally swatted and lied on about mental health issues and stuff. Now, when I got illegally swatted and that's the best I can remember about the dream. I think I remember that's what happened. And I felt like I had to come back and tell y'all before I forgot my thoughts. So, but yeah, so it's super, I don't want to get off, but anyway, yeah, so I woke up in real life feeling traumatized and having to use the bathroom really bad. And I'm like, oh no. Well, usually when I wake up, I gotta use the bathroom really bad anyway. And so there was something earlier in the video that I was trying to say about the Gretna library, and I can't believe that it slipped my mind. I don't know, maybe I could replay the video after I'm done and type it in the comments what I was gonna say, if I could remember. But yeah, but I remember live streaming on the sidewalk in February this year in real life, not in a dream, in real life, live streaming on the sidewalk, and the stalkers was stalking and harassing me and saying, "Say hail Sarton." And they kept flooding the chat with the fake harassing comments with fake new profiles talking about say hail Sarton and stuff like that, And I'm like, I know you're trying to say hail Satan. I know you're trying to say that. So, so this morning, I found out that when I said I like tarot, the stalkers illegally they knew what they were doing, because when I was talking about the taro root vegetable, when I said I like taro flavored like frozen yogurt, and I think I have tried taro root baked or something like that before, and I thought I remember I liked it. Taro root. They say that it's not in the same category as yams and sweet potato, but it's a different kind of root vegetable that they have it in those Asian milk teas and stuff like that, in which I don't like bubba. I mean, what's that called? Boba. Boba. I can't stand. I hate boba tea. Like I don't like the boba pearls, but the taro flavored milk tea, I like that. And I like the taro flavored frozen yogurt. Taro. And I thought it was similar to purple yam or something too, but they say it's not related, but it's really good. And you can find it in Asian markets, you can find the root vegetable in Asian markets. So what the stalkers did was they made a fake video clip and used fake AI and put devil horns on put artificial fake devil horns on my head, and lie and say, well, this is proof that Candy likes tarot cards, meaning TAROT, CARDS, the occultic, new age, witchcraft kind of activity, like reading tarot cards. And y'all know how much I speak against reading tarot cards and how much I hate it, and like the psychic and palm reading and tarot cards. I want nothing to do with it. I never experienced it before. Now, God must have been protecting me one time when I was going to Nichols State University. I think I was going to Nichols. And they had this lady that was supposed to be a palm reading psychic. They thought, ooh, she's a real palm reading psychic and this and that, whatever, But we waited over like an hour or 2 hours and she never showed up. And we got mad. I got mad. I was like 18 years old. I was young, didn't know the truth, didn't know any better, And hold on. The people at Nichols State University were saying that she was a real psychic and a good psychic and stuff like that, They were saying she was a real psychic and a good psychic. So, but so come to find out, I'm thinking back years later that fake psychic, God must have been protecting me against that fake psychic. So, yeah, God must have been protecting me against that fake psychic, because, now I'm thankful and glad that I didn't meet up with that psychic. So, but Just like all these celebrity concerts that I wanted to go to that I ended up being wrongfully blocked from. Well, the only concert I really got to see in person was 112. And 112 and the New Orleans artist Chopper. I was going to Nichols at the time, and I had that was the only like concert like that I ever been to. And it was I think it was a free concert with the Nichols State University students. The music group 112 that was associated with Diddy, But, yeah. But, concerts, yeah, I think nowadays I wouldn't want to go to any concerts, football games, nothing. Not at all anymore. I can't. My disability is getting worse the older I get, and I don't even care for those anyway, So, but so I left the homeless sleep spot. Well, I didn't get to sleep. Why I call it a sleep spot, but I left the area around probably 3 o'clock. 2:30 or 3 o'clock. I don't remember what time it was. And they had a lot of perp activity the perp activity was so bad that I had to start filming and recording. And then when I started filming and recording, the gang stalking was kept to a minimum. And then I kind of don't remember everything that happened in the middle of the night early this morning. But I was my anxiety was high and I was agitated, and I went to take the Algiers bus to come across the river earlier, and then I just waited around at the bus terminal, and I went to the Gretna Walmart I had to get more rubbing alcohol. And it's like, wow, I feel really bad because like it really I don't see like there's only like one bite right here, but other than that I was kind of like itching, not all night, but I started itching a little bit last night and was itching a little bit this morning. And I was like, damn, I hope this perp did not give me no doggone bed bugs. But the rubbing alcohol and if I spray a lot, the rubbing alcohol and the lavender oil, it's a powerful combination to help get rid of the bastards really quick. And also, if I can have an opportunity to wash clothes frequently and shower frequently, which I can't get to do that because of being forced homeless, So, but it's like I don't even know if I have like a final confirmation on whether or not I have the bed bugs or not. It's like I was itching a little bit this morning, but not really many bites or whelps or nothing, but just itching all over. But and for me to keep the lavender oil soap, and if I could wash frequently and wash my clothes frequently, wash my body frequently and hair and from head to toe and wash my clothes frequently, but I can't get to do that. But if I keep sprinkling the I sprinkle the lavender oil on my bags, and if I sprinkle it on my clothes a little bit, but sometimes if I accidentally sprinkle too much, I get nauseated. But that I told you that perp was planted there. And this morning, they had a guy who claimed that he was homeless and had a job, and he was trying to make sexual advances at me, trying to hit on me at the bus terminal. and there was another guy that was on a bike that got in my personal space and got too close by me, you know. But this guy that tried to make sexual advances at me, I don't remember what he told me his name was. But even after I told him I hate cigarettes, and then 5 minutes later he lit up and started smoking right in front of my face. Even after I told him that I hate cigarettes, because he was trying to ask me if I smoke and this and that, whatever. And it's like and like they had a lady that I don't know that if she was drunk or on drugs or something. She was definitely under the influence of something, and she asked me. She nearly got in my personal space and asked me if I had any cigarette or whatever. It was a black female, and you know, I told her I don't smoke or whatever, and they're like, that's good, keep it up, whatever. Like, but basically for me to not smoke cigarettes or sweet weed, or they're like, oh, would you smoke weed? No. Oh, would you do this? No. I don't do any drugs. I don't smoke. I don't drink. I hate drugs. I don't even vape. I hate, And they're like, oh, so you're a good girl, huh? You're a good girl, huh? Oh, you don't do none of that, huh? Oh, you're squeaky clean, huh? Stuff like that, that people, say, So they're like, well, how you don't do nothing, and how you homeless and you don't do this and you don't do that? Well, because I'm forced homeless being targeted. I ain't one of those homeless druggy perps. I'm not one of those demonic, dirty, homeless, fake druggy perps. So, but yeah, I don't even know what hotel I could go to. I heard it's supposed to rain tonight in the middle of the night. And I heard it's supposed to rain tonight and in the middle of the night, and then be cold for the rest of the week. So I basically pretty much ran out of my Google AdSense check, and I'm gonna have to start asking for help for dinner and hotel nights and this and that, whatever, every day until like December 1st, I think. So, but yeah, so I went to the Gretna location, the fake Walmart. The perps were trying to race me there. They were perping heavy, and they had the abusive, narcissistic fake janitor that had his face twisted up, mad, and giving me mean looks, and acting like he didn't want me to use the bathroom. He already cleaned the bathroom, and I had to wait, and I had to use the bathroom so bad, and they nearly succeeded at force urinating me again, and so I'm glad I really didn't have problems on the bus, but they had the guy with the cleft mouth or deformed mouth. He was on the bus today, but he left me alone, and the bus driver left me alone. But the first bus, the Algiers bus that I got on, when I got off the bus, I told the bus driver thank you, and he went like this, like as if he wanted to shoo me away, like I'm a fly or something. And I'm like, well, what did I do to you? Like, he's one of those type of fake perp bus drivers that, the thing that you put down for the disabled, like when you lower the bus, he put it down like less than halfway. And I have to be forced to step up higher to get on the bus. Which is torturous and like difficult for me. So and I never did him anything. You know, he was like rude for nothing. But yeah, it was the lady bus driver with the other bus later. You know, well, I know I rode. Wait. Yeah, I rode 3 buses this morning. Well, the second 2 buses, nobody really messed with me. You know, it was 2 female bus drivers. You know, with the West Bank buses. But so I got over here and just waited for the library to open, and they had other people in the parking lot too. You know, but yeah, I started on working on. I came up with the idea on November 15th, and now it's the 24th, and I hope to finish it. I hope to finish the short story later today, but it was a fiction short story that I started working on this morning, called We Pray and We Don't Judge. You know how people talk about we listen and we don't judge, and then they start to be all judgmental and stuff, or they make like they feel compelled or like they can't help but to be judgmental, but they want to talk about we listen and we don't judge. Now, I think that we listen and we don't judge, I think that's kind of like New Age or whatever, but I'm trying to do a Christian twist on it. You know, that's not New Age, you know, but so, and it also kind of ties in with, you know, the gang stalking, smear campaigns, and false rumors as well, you know, and what the people talk about cancel culture and all that, you know, like I heard that certain people say that gang stalking and cancel culture go together also, like trying to mute whistleblowers or whatever. But well, the wind gets stronger every time I try to talk about something more important. Then when I talk about something mediocre, the wind slows down. But yeah, I saw that the Truman Show movie, it's on YouTube for free. It's saying for free with ads right about now, you know. But I watched it once before. I would like to watch it again. But yeah, it's cloudy, and I just found out just now that in the middle of the night tonight and earlier tomorrow morning it's supposed to rain. Well, I got trash bags, but I don't have rain ponchos. And every time if I try to get an umbrella, it breaks, no matter how much it costs, because of the wind. And if I try to get a rain poncho, it tears. So I would need help with a hotel room tonight, and like every night until at least Saturday. I thought the rain wasn't supposed to come until well, they did say Tuesday, but I thought it was later Tuesday afternoon. I didn't realize it was going to be in the middle of the night and like tonight/tomorrow earlier in the morning, you know. So like now I'm like, as I said, you know, back to being very low on funds. Like my AdSense check is just about gone now, you know. But I need help with more hotel nights and deposit plus food and whatever. And I y'all know I can't live stream due to the gang stalking attacks. So it would be a miracle if I could get help with, well, since I'll be already on the other side of the river, I'll have to live stream and ask for funds for dinner, and I'll have to ask for funds for hotel, and I would have to pay a $50 deposit plus maybe $100 plus maybe 100. I'll say 110 to stay on the safe side, and I could go and you know, well, if it's late I would need help before 11:45 p.m. Central Time, because they stop accepting reservations at a lot of the hotels at midnight. If they either raise the price or they stop accepting reservations at midnight. So, and then I could, disinfect and spray down my clothes with the rubbing alcohol, and take like a couple of showers, and like add some lavender oil to try to if I do have bed bugs, it's not a bad infestation like what happened back in January. But I need help like if I do have it, I need help before anything escalates before they escalate and get worse and multiply. But other than that, I keep trying to extinguish and fight. It's like, why the hell these perps keep doing this to me? And the guy, he looked like the sores and marks that he had on his legs and stuff, like as if he'd been having the bed bugs for quite a long time. And then he was near me and scratching his hair. And it's like, well, did the whole hotel dining room worth of people get it? Or am I the only one that's got it and that's been attacked? And as I said, his little baby kept running up to me. Of all people, me and nobody else. The baby looked like she was like about a year old. I know she didn't know no better. It's not her fault. But the wife or girlfriend and the baby and the kids, they didn't have bed bugs or bed bug marks, but he did. But yeah, I mean, and I was like, my legs and stuff were itching like in 5 or 6 o'clock this morning, but later on the itching has stopped. But I tried to spray my clothes and spray my skin and spray my legs with the rubbing alcohol and my hair or whatever as often as I could, trying to stay on the safe side. But with these extra layers of clothes, and it being like it's November now, but if it was summer, if all I had was the dress, bra, and underwear and flip-flops, I could have, the bed bugs wouldn't last long on my body. But me having extra layer of clothes like pants and hoodie and coat and whatever, and multiple layers of socks is make it harder to get rid of. But I thank God I got the plastic trash bags so that I could take my other bags and put them in a black trash bag and like spray down and drench the bags in the rubbing alcohol and the lavender oil, and then tie them up. And then it could suffocate the bed bugs and get rid of them that way, But the quicker I could get rid of them, that's the better. But I don't have diatomaceous earth. That also helped get rid of them. But I can't walk around in public powdering my body up, And I also have some alcohol wipes too, that I could, use the wipes to rub my skin. But how else would I get hotel out of the rain and out of the cold? And the stalkers were taunting and harassing me about how I deserved to freeze to death. So, they had a perp that was waiting for me to walk out of the library, and she illegally drove out of the parking lot. And she wasn't even utilizing the library. She was here to stalk and follow me. And when I was inside the library, there was a lady. She's not here anymore. She was here earlier. And I said hello to her. And she had this look like she thought she was too good to say hi back. She was wearing an orange tight dress, but had an orange purse that was matching her tight dress or whatever. And she looked like she was like maybe 10 years older than me. And I said hi to her, like telling everybody hi, you know. I said hi to her, and she looked like she thought she was too good to say hi back. I never saw her before. And then when I went to use the bathroom and left the bathroom, and she was big cheesing and smiling, you know, at the librarians and excited, you know, waving at them goodbye when she left. So I don't remember a lot of the other events that happened yesterday, but the man, he's not really light skinned, but he got straight hair, and I guess he's considered one of those quote unquote light skinned pretty Creoles. And he was elderly, that elderly man that bullied me about my bus pass, and I got on the streetcar. He slammed the doors in my face and refused to let me on the streetcar a few months ago. And that's the one he triggered my Tourette's and triggered for me to call him an asshole. He's like, an asshole. I'm like, yeah, asshole. Like, after I realized what I said, and then I'm like, oh, well, I just played along with it, you know, afterwards. I was so mad, you know. He triggered my Tourette's. And he made it like, oh, I'm going to show you, you know. But they had another streetcar to come immediately after. It was a white man operating the streetcar. And he just told everybody, get on, don't worry about, you know, showing up or nothing. Just get on, you know. So that same Creole looking man that he I thought we made a truce. He should have apologized to me for being rude and stuff, whatever. But I thought I remember I apologized to him and made a truce with him or whatever. And then after a few times I ride in the streetcar with him, one time I was wearing a dress, and he pretended to be fake nice and try to mockingly call me a little fella. He tried to pretend to be fake nice and try to fake refer to me as a little fella, and thought he was trying to be fake class clown funny. And when I corrected him and told him I'm a woman, I'm not a fella, and he's like, oh, my vision is bad or whatever. But his vision wasn't too bad for him to harass me about my disabled bus pass, though. If your vision bad enough that you couldn't see a woman wearing a very long dress, then how the hell you get to operate the streetcar? And after I corrected him about my gender, then he went back to being an asshole again. So yesterday, and I think the time before that I rode the streetcar with him, he's nice and normal towards everybody else. He's abusive, narcissistic, and fake power hungry towards me, but nice and normal towards everybody else, especially idolizing and worshiping the fake rich tourists. You know. And so I got on the streetcar yesterday, and I showed him my bus pass, and he had his face twisted up mad with a narcissistic, vicious, mean, hate, anger look. And he had his face twisted up mad to the point that when I got on the streetcar and showed him my pass, and then his eyes followed, you know, with murderous kind of vicious hate, anger look. And I had done nothing wrong. And I went all the way to the back and I sat down. And yesterday, everybody kept violating my personal space and bumped into me on the streetcars, the buses, whatever. I was so frustrated, and I still feel very dirty. I'm like, dang, I just got out of the hotel, you know. And so then, you know, so like all evening yesterday evening, all night last night, and all morning this morning, I don't know the guy's name, the man, but his face was heavily cemented in my head, like heavily, violently, forcefully unwanted and intrusive in my mind. And I could not block the image of his face out of my mind. You know. But yeah. But he was like not brown skin, but he was dark, like his skin color was like dark orange. Like so dark orange that I kinda can't really call him light skin like that. But he was like so very like dark orange, but not exactly brown skin either, you know. But he had like straight hair, and he was old, and he's abusive towards me, you know. But it seemed like he was, trying to be power hungry. If you operate the streetcar every day, how do you not know that there are younger people that's disabled that have the disabled bus pass? Or you were just a perp targeting me and trying to set up and sabotage me riding the transit, the public transit, you know. I ride the buses every doggone day. The buses, well, almost every day when I don't have a hotel, you know. Buses, but I don't ride the streetcar every day, and I don't ride the ferry every day, you know. But, yeah, he tried to give me a problem and try to be, power hungry and try to bully me about my disabled bus pass and think that pass is supposed to be for elderly only but you're quick to call somebody crazy and schizophrenic or say something wrong with her. I had 2 strokes when I was 5, and certain people said that they could see that it's evident that, I ain't mentally all there. How people want the abusive, narcissistic, fake perps, they abuse me and treat me a certain way because they feel like I'm not mentally all there, or they feel like I'm crazy, or I'm mentally off, slow, and retarded. You know. But yeah. So, like, and last night they had multiple people coming in my live stream chat, and some of them were offering to help, and the stalkers were flooding the chat bad last night. When they had multiple people trying to help, and certain people were getting frustrated and changed their mind about helping because the stalkers were flooding the chat bad. Like as if they wanted to try to overcompensate and fake makeup from when I didn't live stream the previous night. And they sabotaged what help I could have got last night. You know, the most help I got last night was $2. And so they have certain people that perp and lie and say that they're a targeted individual. They try to lie and say, well, Candy, I'm a targeted individual, and I'm being gang stalked, and I'm going through this, and I'm going through that. And, I try to send you CashApp, but it's not going through. I think they're playing perp games when they say that. Because how come certain other people, the CashApp could go through without any issue? And they had a fake perp with the fake name. I don't remember what her name. I'm not gonna say her first name, but I don't remember her last name. It was a white female, but she looked like she had like I don't remember if it was bluish, purplish, greenish, kind of weird color hair, and her fake profile picture on PayPal. And she fake requested me $40 that I did not have. And try to say, well, yeah, I heard you're always giving out money. I heard you're always giving out money to people. And she fake requested me $40 and saying that she needed the $40 to feed her and her kids, or her baby or whatever. You know, she looked older than me in the profile picture. She looked damn near elderly. It was a picture of a white female. Excuse me. So, but yeah, and they had certain people that got frustrated with me, and I was trying to tell everybody, hold up, the stalkers, they illegally flooding my chat, and I have to block them. Because if the newcomers see the stalkers lying and saying, don't donate to her, Candy's a scammer, then they're gonna listen to not knowing what the fake red triangle thing is. You know, they're gonna end up out of ignorance believing the perps and not helping. So when the perps come try to flood the chat, I gotta block immediately. I mean, block and screenshot immediately. And they come back within less than 2 or 3 minutes with another fake new profile. And somehow, I don't know how they have fake accounts that's like 8 years old with 1 subscriber. And, you know, if the fake account is like 35 seconds old and they talk like they know all my life, that's the satanic stalking cult criminals. So, but, yeah, I haven't had any pure water to drink today, but I'm about to go and drink some. It's almost 2 o'clock, and like I had the Boathouse Farms green little smoothie thing, you know. And in the middle of the night, I showed y'all the 2 snacks that I had, but like the usually, excuse me, those Leeds waffles, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I usually like those things, but that particular one that I had, it was, I gagged on the texture and had difficulty with the texture of it, and so I couldn't eat it. And the key lime cookies, I didn't like those either, you know. So I gave both of those away, you know. And the homeless people I gave them to, I don't know if they ate them or threw them away or shared them with people or gave them away, you know. But, yeah. So, but the library janitor, I don't think I saw her at all yet today. But the one that works in the evening, she's really nice and she smiled. But I heard that neither one of the janitors speak any English. But the one that works in the mornings and earlier afternoons, she got worse with being passive aggressive and like bullying me without telling me a word and doing stuff to antagonize, trigger, and provoke me, you know. But I've been trying what I could to stay out of her way. But sometimes she come in my personal space and you know, do her, you know, passive aggressive bullying and triggering, antagonizing, and provoking. You know, I've been trying to stay away from her. You know. But the other day she saw that I was trying to get into the bathroom before the library closed. And she tried to race me to the bathroom on purpose and would not let me in. And if it weren't for the librarian that left out of there, she would have gone in there and cleaned the bathroom on purpose, just being evil. But even if she didn't know any English, she knew I needed to use the bathroom. She knew I was trying to use the bathroom. you know. But I don't know why they had those people come back. You know, if they were gone for like 10 months and then they came back. But yeah. But the stalkers are getting worse. They're getting really bad, and to the point where it's impossible to ignore their tactics. And it's very hard for me to work on trying to practice to not be scared. Like, they would tell a lie about me, and I end up getting frightened at the lie that they said about me, or feeling intimidated or frightened about the lie, whatever lie that they said about me, you know. Not every lie, but some certain lies, you know. And the stalkers are considered like extremely messy or meddlesome, busybody in other men's matters or other people's matters, you know. And they try to scare people, trying to intimidate people. And sometimes their lies are used as a way to threaten and intimidate you, like to try to threaten and scare you. You know, trying to instill fear. And sometimes they might threaten to tell a lie about you, you know. It's like as if it's a lie and a threat that's a 2-in-1 combo. So, and well, I guess if I had come on, they're doing noise harassment with loud bass. So, I got some regular lavender oil. So I'm low on. I got like one more bath to use my lavender oil soap, and I'll be out. But the rest of the lavender oil. The lavender oil I just got yesterday, I probably could take lavender oil bath soaks, you know, after washing myself, and, you know, could try to protect myself that way, you know. I had between 2 and 4 small bottles of lavender oil that was in the orange backpack that got stolen. And I had a big, huge bottle of the lavender oil soap that got stolen too out of the orange backpack. And I had underclothes, I had valuables, like important documents. You know, come on, they can see the flies are flying close. But so I'm about to get me some water to drink. And they had these kind of like some kind of blue cheese flavored chips from Trader Joe's. Oh, that truck is loud. That either that or the Pop-Tarts, but see, they're blasting loud music. They're like the cherry pomegranate flavored Pop-Tarts. I guess I'll have either of those, and those will be considered quote unquote lunch, you know. But I'm gonna get off here. I love y'all, and I'm gonna try to continue to work on it. See, he's getting in the car. Perp. Oh, he's grabbing a bag. But, yeah, see, they do that fake perp activity when they get close. But yeah, I guess I'll have a couple of snacks and quote unquote lunch, and then, you know, I'm a you know, try to see if I can listen to the Bible and continue to work on a short story that I started. It's been a while since I got to work on anything. I'm still sleep deprived, as y'all can tell. But I need hotel help for every night this week, plus deposit, plus food. The stalkers got me wrongfully banned from the cheaper places, and everybody thinking I'm playing games. I'm not. I love y'all. I'm getting off here.